you beautiful individuals. Back again. Um, Before we jump into this video, I had to add something to it. So I had to actually cut out the old intro and put this one on, which it works. It's just this. It's bizarre because this is a voiceover, so I might sound slightly different in the actual video. Anyway, I just want to say a big shout out to Professor Dave Explains, and I know not everyone likes him. I get it. I personally do. Um, so Ken Hovind, or I should say one of his sub channels or whatever, asked if I would debate Ken Hovind on evolution. And of course, he obviously had to change it. He used to do like creationism versus evolution kind of thing, but now it's just the best evidence for evolution because he doesn't want to talk about the Bible, really. Like, he'll talk about the Bible. He'll say, oh, God did this and that, but like he won't actually discuss it because he knows that once he does, everything falls apart. Um, but yeah, so I just want to say shout out to Professor Dave. I emailed him actually and asked for some advice for if we do figure out this debate thing, me and Ken or whatever his channel figure this out, just for some advice, like how to not really like what to say as much, but more of how to deal with Ken's constant dodging questions and squirming out of everything. Like he literally, like, Professor Dave put it perfect. He said something like says the same script and has done so for decades and will continue to. Like he just doesn't want to learn. Like he doesn't like the only evidence for there not being evolution is Kent Hovind because he will not evolve his way of thinking at all. And I know that's not the same thing. It was just a bad joke. But yeah, anyway, so let's we'll get into the video. Voiceover done. Real video starting. All right. This is Kent Hovind's official, his channel. This is called Amazing Static Electricity Lesson. And this is really short. It's only a minute 32. So I'm going to try my best to just let it play through. I actually have another video I want to look at. I did not look at this other one. This one I watched. Full disclosure. I watched this, and actually I have this up here because I want to look at it after something he claims in this video, which, see, this is why I wanted to look at this video, because I saw this and I was like, okay, so he's doing kind of like a, middle school-esque project of static electricity. How can they possibly mess that up? And I know this isn't Ken Hovind, obviously. I want to look at this one. The next video, I don't know if he's in it or not, but if he's not, I will try to I'll do a third video, not a third video, but we'll look at a third video with actual Kent Hovind in it, so I'm not a complete liar. I don't know who this dude is. He probably said his name, but I don't remember it. But yeah, let's, and the reason it's like this, the different formats, I got copyright struck on Kent Hovind and Ken Ham's when I reacted to theirs. I'm assuming it's because it was full screen. Well, actually, let's be honest. It's probably because they want as few people as possible saying things against them. So, but most likely it's because it was full screen. So I'm hoping by doing it like this that it won't really, it won't get that copyright strike. Because I mean, you can't say I don't understand how they try to copyright me the first time. I mean, it's fair use, and I wasn't trying to come off as Kent Hovind, obviously. Who would ever want to do that? But whatever, I get it. It was full screen, fair enough. This one isn't, so let's check her out.
Everyone, welcome to Dinosaur Adventureland. This is day one. God said, let there be light. We have all these fun experiments having to do with light, electricity, magnetism. This is our Van de Graaff jet.
Sorry, but do you like how he does that? I mean, even in something as simple as this, a static electricity lesson, he has to start it out with, God said, let there be light, and blah, blah, blah.
Generator. This rubber belt rubs on a roller that generates a static field that gathers up into the sphere here. And if I flip it on, As it's developing, if you get close enough to it, you can actually see the spark coming from that field. And if I actually stand on this crate and put my hands on it, my hair will start standing up because of all of that static electricity. It's just like jumping on a trampoline or rubbing a balloon on your head, rubbing your socks on the carpet, you touch a door handle, you get that little bit of a shock. That's what we got right here. It's also good for getting rid of bug bites if you get bit up.
Okay. Before he goes on. See, so far, solid. Except for the intro, solid. Like, just showing off a little static electricity, whatever that, you know, Tesla coil type, not Tesla coil, whatever, you know, all cool. All of this I'm cool with, nothing wrong there. They're actually showing real scientific premise. Mind you, they're linking it to God, of course, and whatnot. But what he just said there about bug bites, here, I'm going to put it back just a little bit here. All right, right there. All right, listen closely to what he says about bug bites.
It's also good for getting rid of bug bites if you get bit up by mosquitoes or stung by a bee. If you get on this guy, as that static charge flows to your body, it'll actually neutralize the venom.
Okay, now understand something. I am in no way, you know, a scientist, biologist, medical person, science person, nothing. I'm nothing. I'm an idiot, and that's about it. I still, when I heard that, it just didn't sound right. Like, I understand, say, like, you know, if you have a bug bite or poison ivy or something like that, if you're in a hot shower, it hits it, and it does kind of temporarily, you know, feel good. Just like if you put a hot rag on it or put ice on it or whatever. That does temporarily feel good, but it will come back eventually. And what he is alluding to here, in my opinion, is that standing on that thing will allow the static electricity to get rid of the venom, which in turn, I'm assuming he means will get rid of the itch for good. But that didn't sound right to me. Because if it was that easy, why is this already not a thing? So, I looked it up. And that brings me to this. The Wall Street Journal, so it's a, you know, fairly legitimate thing, I guess. Where's it at? Treating insect bites, stings, and itch with devices. Alright, and this is one of these devices. Now, mind you, I think this more focuses on heat, but it says right here, the claim, applying heat or mild electric shocks to bug bites can ease sting and itch, say companies that sell the devices. The verdict, while there are a few published studies on the devices, scientists say it's plausible that heat or electric shock can soothe a bite at least for a few moments. There are several theories on how the device works, but none have been proven. And this is from like 2014. Okay, so I didn't look too hard into this. They might have something different now, and they might have found how it works, and this guy might be completely right. I don't know. It might get rid of the venom and get rid of the itch for good. I'm skeptical. I will probably look more into it, but that's for another time.
And just like hundreds of thousands of electrons get charged up into that static field, little things in our lives can build up. The Bible says we reap what we sow. You want to be thinking about that every day. What are you going to be reaping in the future? Is it going to be good or bad? Thanks for joining us. God bless.
So overall, not horrible. You know, of course they're going to tie it to God and stuff, and whatever. Nothing wrong with that, you know. But the one thing I'll give them, they didn't say nothing about the world being 6,000 years old or evolution not being real. They were at this Dino Land thing, which is a whole topic on itself. But still, overall, not bad. So, then I seen this video. Aaronra? I don't know how to say his name. I have watched him a few times, but I can never remember how to pronounce his name correctly. Please correct me in the comments. Professor Dave and PZ Myers get owned by Kent Hovind's I didn't see that. By Kent Hovind's assistant. Okay, when I looked at it, you know, it like cut off, so I just seen by Kent Hovind. Okay. Who is Kent Hovind's? Oh my, this is going to be... I could be wrong, so I'm going to sound dumb, but I'm assuming this is going to be Matt Powell. which is actually even better. I haven't reacted to anything of Matt Powell, so let's just get into it.
Matt Powell and Kent Hovind and a few others I could mention have no concept of respect for integrity of knowledge.
No.
They
No.
That is 100% correct. Sorry, Aaron, for pausing you at such a horrible spot. Okay, I can't get you at a better spot. Sorry. That is 100% correct. Matt Powell, Ken Hovind, Ken Ham, all of them. That's probably the best way I've heard it described. They have no respect for knowledge. It's not even just science, just for knowledge in general. Like, forget the fact that they, say things like secular science and mainstream science or Ken Ham's historical and observational science. It's knowledge at the end of the day, and they truly do not respect it. And not only that, okay, sorry about the cut there. I almost died. I choked on my spit a little bit. Anyway, they don't not only not respect knowledge, but they deny it, and they go against it at so many points. I don't know.
things are true because they want them to be true.
Yeah.
So that's one of those things that Kent Hovind will say that you will never find in any scientific paper, article, or book. And the same thing with when he says, to this day, despite everybody correcting him, he still says that, well, you believe, evolutionists believe we came from a rock.
That is the most infuriating thing he says. And I get that's why he says it, because it angers people. But, stop saying it. I mean, and he always does that. And if you ever point out that he says the same thing over and over again, even though he's been proven wrong countless times and told that's not what people think, then he'll just go, well, and 2 plus 2 is 4 today, and it was 4 100 years ago, and that's why I just repeat myself over and over again. I mean, even in the Professor Dave debate one with Professor Dave and Kent Hovind, where they debated on What's-His-Face's channel, Dave's... No. The moderator read a comment that said something like, basically that they want new material, from Kent, like new talking points, because he literally just says the same thing every single day, like time. And he says that. He says the 2 plus 2 is 4 thing. It's just, he's just unwilling to learn anything. And mind you, if you haven't seen anything about Ken Hovind, he claims to be a doctor. He's not. He claims to have taught children science and stuff. He didn't. He lied to a bunch of them in a church. He never even went to college. He's a convicted felon for tax evasion. Which is what they got Al Capone on. Just throwing it out there. I'm just kidding. And he's just a con man. That's all he is. He's doing this purely for money, which, mind you, I have no issue with anyone doing pretty much anything for money. I get it. We all got to make a living. But the moment you start conning and lying to people is when I have an issue. When you deny science and say that we're all idiots for believing very obvious and common knowledge, that's when I have an issue. I don't know. Let's keep watching.
Except that no evolutionists ever believed that. Nobody,
Yeah.
not one, not ever.
No, I don't believe that at all. I don't believe we came from rocks.
It seems today that the atheistic movement is completely ignorant about their theory of origins. Now,
We're ignorant about theory of origins. And I don't even want to say that because I'm calling myself an evolutionist, or atheist, whatever he just said. This guy, I knew it was Matt Powell. I could smell his stupid through the video. This guy, Matt Powell, is he's Kent Hovind Jr., essentially, but he's even more ridiculous. Where Kent Hovind just sticks to his script and says the same thing over and over again, Matt Powell likes to say things that make him look as ignorant as possible. Let's see if that proves true in this video.
Now, this should come as no surprise to us as Bible-believing Christians, that they would be ignorant of their own theories. According to evolutionary theory, according to chemical evolution, we actually descended from rocks.
Why? You put in... What? Sorry. And like I said, that's why they do it, because it angers people. But you put in the beginning of this video people saying how it's stupid to say this because you've been told time and time and again it's not what people who believe in science and evolution, people who know that it's true because we're not dumb, think. But you, believing in the Bible, a Bible believing Christian as you called yourself, even though you take it way too literally obviously, you do believe we came from rocks or dust or clay or whatever. Like, you believe it far more than the other side does. So I'm dumbfounded right now that was his first point. I mean, this is what he does. He does this. He says things to look as dumb as possible. A part of me believes he's actually trying to make Kent Hovind look worse. That's the only thing I can assume. Either that or he is this ridiculous. I don't know.
Now, I know that the atheistic movement and the online skeptics will say that they do not believe this at all, but they are just showing their ignorance about their own creation story.
It's not a creation story. It's not Okay. Long ago, which we can't know for sure, we just presume based on evidence that everything is expanding. It's logical to presume that everything went back to a singular point. What created that point, what caused that point to expand in the first place, we don't know. We have theories, but we don't know. We don't even know, like I said, if that really happened, if it started from a singular point. It's just logical to presume that because everything is expanding. That being said, eventually, that which we call the Big Bang, though I'll just call it the expansion to make it more correct because it's not an explosion, formed planets, stars, bunches of things all throughout the universe. One of those planets started forming life. And it didn't come from a rock. There was liquid that rained down onto the surface of the earth, whether that be rock, dirt, whatever material that it landed on, and then collected, most likely, now obviously we don't know this for sure, you can't know 100% where it came from or what started first. We just have a bunch of theories, not a bunch, but theories on how life started, and it's obviously logical to presume one of them is true. It's more likely that multiple of them occurred over different spots on the earth and probably throughout the universe, but that's a whole other point. So that liquid that rained down onto the surface of the earth, onto rock, dirt, whatever, collected into a pool, essentially, a collection of water, and over time it did form life over long periods of time. Now, I know I didn't explain that perfectly or very scientifically, but at the end of the day, nobody says it came from rocks. It's just the material in which life, the materials that formed into life, obviously may have came from dirt and rocks and stuff. Not from them, but, you know, by being washed into this collection of liquid. But it easily could have came from the liquid itself. It could have been a comet that hit the earth that had frozen life within it. It could have been so many things. But the point is, it did not come from rocks. The rocks didn't create something. I can't comprehend how you don't understand this. Alright, sorry. Even if you could tell, there's a cut there, but I had to go die for a second.
Their own creation myth of how life started from non-living chemicals. If you type in on the internet, "You owe your life to rock," it brings up a paper called "You Owe Your Life to Rock." If you were to click on that paper, the first few words of that paper are, "Thank goodness for granite." This paper goes on to say that we actually owe our life to rocks that were rained on. And what happened was, these granite rocks were rained on for 2 million years, and it eroded the rocks to a point where multicellular life would be able to use the chemical compounds that were eroded from the rocks to be able to come into existence.
See, how is that? How do you not understand that? What is so hard for you to grasp about that concept? It's very simple. It's easy.
We are multicellular organisms. That means that we descended from rocks according to chemical evolution.
No, they didn't descend from rocks. The rocks weren't living. The chemical whatever on the rock wasn't living. It formed into life, into what we consider life, a single cellular organism. Okay, we're done with him. 1 second. Alright, so I found a video with Mr. Hovind, as you can see. This is where we'll end it. I know I didn't do much of the Matt Powell. I probably will do one just of him at some point. Just like I'll do another one just of Kent Hovind at some point. But yeah, this is 666. Mark of the Beast is the rise of the machine's AI. Very coherent sentence there.
Good morning, Ken Hovind here, March the 12th, 2016. Going to do a quick report on something interesting on the internet, if I can find it again. The Drudge Report has an article about rise of machines. Keep an eye on AI, which is artificial intelligence, say the experts. Back in Revelation chapter 13, 2,000 years ago, the Apostle John said, there's going to come a time where you cannot buy or sell without a mark. Read Revelation chapter 13. And then again in chapter 14. And it says the mark is 666. Well, 60 is 60, so 666 will be the mark of the beast. Interesting. Let me read what the Drudge Report had today or yesterday.
Okay. So, I've not watched this yet. I wanted to actually look for quite a while to find something that piqued my interest. I don't understand where he's really going with this. Like, what? I don't know. Let's keep watching.
Today, I mean, it's like, recent. Okay. Google Computer's stunning 3-0 victory in a man versus machine face-off over the ultimate board game highlights the need to keep artificial intelligence under human control, experts said Saturday. The partly self-taught AlphaGo program's defeat of Go master Lee Sedol showed AI was progressing faster than widely thought. They said a highly symbolic moment in humanity's quest to create smart machines. And while AI plays a key role in building a better, safer world, some fear the fast pace of development would finally leave humans outwitted by our own inventions. You think?
Okay, so I guess I still don't see why he's trying to connect this and the 666 thing. Probably something with... I honestly don't know where he's going with this. But I just want to say, I find it a little weird that you're saying all this whilst using a computer, posting on a Google-owned platform that absolutely uses AI. Odd to me, but okay.
AlphaGo's triumph shows that the methods we do have are even more powerful than we first thought, said AI expert Stuart Russell of the University of California, Berkeley Electrical Engineering and Computer Sciences Department. The fact that AI methods are progressing much faster than expected makes the question of the long-term outcome more urgent, he told AFP by mail. It'll be necessary to develop an entirely new discipline of research in order to ensure that increasingly powerful AI systems remain completely under human control. Right. Yeah, we're going to develop the atomic bomb and keep it under human control also. It'll never be used for bad. We're going to develop the rifle just for hunting only, never to shoot anybody. Yeah, okay.
What? I don't understand that. So, for one, no one said that, obviously. Like, we were killing each other way before the A-bomb or guns. But two, we did use the atomic bomb, obviously to kill people. But I mean, there's fairly strong arguments to why that was actually not a bad thing. I mean, it was, in my opinion at least. Personally, I don't think that was the right call, but that's me, you know, now with hindsight and with, this future knowledge of what blowing up atomic bombs has done to the world. Really, the one that we used to kill, or the two that we used to kill people, weren't even that bad compared to all the ones we did test with. But still, that being said, so are you saying you don't like guns? This is why I don't get this. Like, you're criticizing these things, but obviously you use computers and YouTube, so AI. So maybe, so do you not like guns? Do you not use them at all because of this? I mean, clearly you don't use atomic bombs. But the thing is, too, not all of these things are bad. Like, the gun did lead to people being able to hunt more and get more to eat, which allowed to more growth and everything. And the atomic bomb, like, even though that part of it sucked, nuclear technology goes way beyond the atomic bomb and has done great things for us. So whatever.
Until 5 months ago, computer mastery of the 3,000-year-old game of Go, G-O, which I have no clue what that is, said to be the most complex ever invented, was thought to be at least a decade off. But then AlphaGo beat European Go champion Fan Huai, and its creators decided to test the program's real strength against Lee, one of the game's all-time masters. Game playing is a crucial measure of AI progress. It shows that a machine can execute a certain intellectual task better than humans. A key test was when IBM's Deep Blue defeated chess master Garry Kasparov in 1997. The game of Go is more complex than chess and has more possible board configurations than there are atoms in the universe. I guess I better see what that game's about. Anyway, the article goes on to talk about how that AI, artificial...
So this is off topic, but right there, the more atoms in the universe, like, he doesn't... Well, never mind. His answer would just be God did it. Never mind. It's a pointless thought.
Intelligence is progressing rapidly, and we're going to have computers able to do lots more than we think they can do. Now, from a strictly biblical perspective, what does this mean? Well, God prophesied this a long time ago. I have wondered if maybe right after the flood in the days of Noah, which was, 4,400 years ago.
No, it wasn't.
The people decided to build a tower, the Tower of Babel, it is now called.
Never mind.
And the base of it's been found over in Iraq. Who cares? Another rabbit. But they decided they're going to, God said spread out. They said, oh no, we're not going to spread out. We're going to stay here and build our new world order, our one world government. And a guy named Nimrod decided he's going to be the king of that new world order. Jack Chick has written a lot on this topic, and Chick.com.
See, here's the issue with that. People were already spread out 4,400 years ago. What are you talking about? I mean, I know he doesn't believe that and doesn't believe in aging techniques and all that, but I don't comprehend. Never mind. This guy is so dumb.
The website there has tons of good material on the Tower of Babel and Nimrod and all this kind of stuff. Anyway, they decided they're going to build a new world order in spite of God. And so God came down and confused their languages and broke up the languages, Genesis chapter 10 and 11. Okay, well, during this time...
But why would he do that? What sense does that make? Like, it makes way more sense that people spread out way before the supposed flood and then just developed different languages.
And right after the flood, the people are living to be 400 years old and probably...
No, they weren't.
Didn't realize that they're no longer going to live to be 900.
Because they never were living that long.
Before the flood, everybody's living to be 900, so they're probably thinking, we got 900 years. And it turned out God shortened the lifespan. I suspect in the days of Peleg...
See, everything that you talk about God, it just makes him look like a piece of shit. Alright, we're done. I will come back to Kent Hovind, Matt Powell, and whatnot eventually, but that's too much stupidity for one day. So, thanks for watching. Please comment, like, subscribe, all that stuff, and until next time.